What is WooCommerce? So let's dive into that and find out. So WooCommerce, if you type this in, is an e-commerce platform that you can have on your WordPress site in order to sell physical products or digital products. So for print on demand, you can use this, and it does integrate with a lot of print on demand suppliers. And you can also sell digital products on it, which is really nice. I think a lot of people are confused with what the heck is this? It's a plugin. It's an extension. It's designed to add functionality to websites that are built with WordPress. The cool part is it's free, it's open source, and it drives a lot of websites worldwide. Like it's very, very popular because it's open source. That means you can customize it to suit your needs very easily. It adds all of the features of any online store, like any store that you can get on Shopify, you can also get on WooCommerce. I think WooCommerce is basically the more advanced way to sell online, to build your own store, and to sell print on demand or digital items. I think it's really cool because of the open source aspect to it. It was apparently here, it was launched on September 27th, 2011. Quickly became popular for its simplicity to install and customize for the market. And it's really kind of like WordPress is free. This is free too. So how do you install this? Well, basically you need a host. So what do you need to install WooCommerce? You need a hosting account, and then you need WordPress installed, and then you literally go and add the plugin WooCommerce to your WordPress installation. And there's a million different articles, a million different videos on it, and a lot of different hosts. Like Bluehost is a very popular one for it. And if we go there, it'll show everything here, including their pricing. So I think what's happening right now is a lot of people they're on Etsy and they're doing print on demand, and they're thinking this is the best way ever to do it. And then they're like, well, Etsy's not really doing it for me because I'm not really getting many sales. So then they move to Shopify, and they're like, well, Shopify is awesome because they do everything for me. And then you realize you get your bill every single month for the apps that you have on your Shopify store and for the rental from Shopify itself. And very quickly, you're spending like $100, $200, $300 a month just to rent a store from Shopify. So with WooCommerce, you're the owner. So it goes like this on a scale. I'm just going to open up a little thing here before we get into the hosting. If you're looking at what's what, so there are levels to this. So let's say you want to open your own online store and sell, say, print-on-demand products. What are your options? Well, you can go to Etsy, you can go to Shopify, you can go to WooCommerce, and there's actually a couple other sites too, or platforms too, that you could use. But if you go to Etsy, you won't get sales. And please comment below if you're getting sales on Etsy when you have a new store. You don't. I know, I've been there, I've done that. It takes forever. You're looking at approximately 2 or 3 years to get consistent sales because they only reward old shops with traffic. So yeah, they get you in there teasing you about how, just open up a shop. You don't have to pay for any marketing. Well, you pay a fortune in fees. I've got another video on fees on my channel here. And then you just sit there and you don't make any sales. And there are people that will put in, they'll open up in January and they won't make a sale till 3 or 4 or 5 months down the road. And that's just one sale, not even enough to pay the bills. Their fees are insane too. So then people are like, okay, so Etsy, I'm going to call this beginners. Nothing wrong with that. And then Shopify, I'm going to call this intermediate. And Shopify is where you're renting a store from them. You're paying through the nose in fees every month for apps for your store. So typically, it's going to be around $100 to $300 per month in rental fees, which is $1,200 to $3,600 per year. Now, I'm saying that, but there are benefits to it because they handle everything for you, so you don't need any hosting or anything like that. Then there's WooCommerce, built on WordPress, open source. You need hosting. So let's get back to hosting now. So there's a bunch of different hosts that you can use for this. And if we go to pricing, let's see, like a basic plan here, and this is just one that does hosting, $3.98 a month, plus $7.35 a month. Recommended, $7.35 a month. Pro, $18.82 a month. To give you some perspective on that, I actually have my own server with Liquid Web, and I pay $160 a month. And that's where I have all my websites. And so adding WooCommerce for me is a very simple thing because I have a powerful server. So I have what's called a VPS server. And these start, even here at Bluehost, they start at $40.45, $53.49, or even $94.40, which is less than what I'm paying for mine at Liquid Web. So hosting, you can start small. We'll go back here. Here's what I recommend. Start small and then upgrade as your sales grow. Very simple. That's how you do it. So, I forgot to put this on here too. For WooCommerce, advanced. I'm going to call it advanced only because of the fact that you have to now become you have to learn how to upload things, and there's a little bit more involved. You have to also maintain your site. So it's built on WordPress, so you have to update plugins and update WordPress. However, this can be done automatically right in WordPress. So I know some people always say, well, I'm not going to use WooCommerce because I don't want to update the plugins, I don't want to update templates, I don't want to update WordPress. But the fact is, you can literally flick a little button and it'll do it automatically. So the open source side is really, really, really nice because you can customize it 100%. Whereas up here, can't really customize things. They use Liquid as their programming language, and some customization is available, but not much. So it's kind of like, because you're renting it from them, they don't want you in there under the hood changing things. That's why I would say WooCommerce is a little bit more advanced. So for me, as I consider myself an advanced print-on-demand seller, an advanced digital product seller, who's been on all of these platforms, the one that I like the most right now is right here. And this is because I can build my brand on WooCommerce, and it works very, very, very well. It's just it's easy to use. There's a lot of help available just online. And that's one thing too that people will say, well, with Etsy, there's really no support. With Shopify, you have support available from their agents. But with WooCommerce, there's a whole boatload of people out there that are willing to support you, including me with it. If you're on the techie side, WooCommerce is very simple to use. If you're brand new to like print on demand and e-commerce in general, something like Etsy would be probably where you start. It's just that you're going to be very frustrated because you're not going to make any sales at all. So what you need for WooCommerce is a host. You install WordPress, and then you add the plugin, the WooCommerce plugin. And then as well, I'll just go to the page here. There are a whole bunch of themes and extensions and everything else that you can get on WooCommerce. Even WooCommerce themselves. I'm going to go back here. I want my dashboard. Don't redirect me. Oh, you bugger. Okay, so extensions, there's themes. And this is just on WooCommerce. And there are free themes. There's 3 free ones. And I've actually used this one, Boutique, and customized it. So that's free. You can start free, and then you go to paid ones. There's like 84 paid ones on here. But that's not all. If you go to Google and type in WooCommerce themes, there's probably thousands and thousands of different themes that you can hook up to your store, which is very cool. On the extension side, which are like plugins, there's 850 extensions, from payments to analytics to tax to Stripe, add-ons, subscriptions, PayPal, Facebook, bundles, everything you can imagine. They've got it covered, which is very, very nice. So on a cost comparison, Etsy is actually the most expensive place to sell print-on-demand products. I'll tell you that, with all the fees that they charge you, and there's fees on fees on fees, and there's constant fees and renewal fees and all these. Just search my channel for Etsy fees explained. You'll be blown away. Shopify is the second most expensive, but it could be the most expensive just depending on how many apps you have. And then WooCommerce is actually the cheapest to run, but probably the most advanced to set up. But once you are set up, it runs pretty smooth. Like adding products, there are integrations from all the major companies like Printify. If you're doing print on demand, they do integrate with WooCommerce. I think they say it right here. Yep, right there, WooCommerce. So Printify is a huge print on demand supplier. They integrate. There's a couple other ones like Wix, Squarespace, BigCommerce. I can't remember what that is. Euclid, and there's more. And then even Walmart and Shopify and Etsy. So all the print-on-demand suppliers, the big ones, have an integration for WooCommerce. I think what's happening is a lot of people aren't using WooCommerce simply because they don't want to bother with the hosting. But if you want what I say is the absolute best option, it is WooCommerce for print-on-demand or digital products. Now, what can you do to get going? Well, get hosting, get WordPress, and then install WooCommerce and start playing with it. And once you get in there and get used to it, it's like riding a bike. When you first ride a bike, you're probably going to fall off, but after a while, you're going to be very comfortable. Okay, so these are the options. This is what I like. I'm leaning heavily on WooCommerce for my business because I can build a brand, and it's the cheapest way to do it, honestly. But more than that, it's just the customization to me is fantastic, and the fact that I own it 100%. So let's do that too. Let's put one more thing here. You're building their brand and paying a lot to build their brand. You know, Etsy always says, like, they put out this new thing where you get 4% back for sales that you refer from social media. Yeah, you're building Etsy brand, and you're also marketing for your competition with every time you do that. Shopify, you're building your brand, but you do not own it. You're a tenant who is renting it. Okay, and then down here, you're building your brand and you own it 100%. That's why we go beginner, intermediate, advanced. With WooCommerce, you're the owner. They're not going to be able to take it away from you. Etsy will suspend you. Etsy will put you into payment reserves. They'll do all this crap to you. Shopify can suspend you if they don't like what you're selling. WooCommerce, no, it's you. You're in full control. You own it. So you go from basically not even renting on Etsy, just paying a fortune in fees to kind of occupy a spot. Well, I'll call this like a, let's do this. You're staying at someone else's hotel. Put it that way. That's what building a business on Etsy is. You're staying in somebody else's hotel. And then in Shopify, you're a tenant who's like renting an apartment, and the apartment is a store. And then WooCommerce, you're building your own brand. You own it 100%. It's your house. Okay? That's how it goes. Now, is one better than the other? I mean, they all have their advantages and disadvantages, and I'm probably going to shoot more videos in the future on the advantages and disadvantages of each one. But that's the lay of the land for you. So let me know which one you're on. Are you on Etsy? Are you on Shopify? Are you on WooCommerce? Are you on Etsy, but you're thinking, man, it's time to get off Etsy because I'm really not making any money. I'm not making any sales. You're sold the dream, and the dream is like floundering right now. Etsy's in a dip. I think they'll come back eventually, but right now they're struggling. I think too many sellers went on there after the pandemic, and the buyers did not increase enough to handle that. That's why most shops get very few sales. Now, there are exceptions, of course, but maybe 2% of the shops make any real money. The other 98% make peanuts. So Shopify to me is a better option, but WooCommerce is the ultimate option. All right, let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.